What's up, YouTube? This your main man, AB the Hero, back again with another video. And word on the street is your boy Lonzo Ball and the Big Baller brand have already outperformed what they would have done if they would have signed that deal with Nike, Under Armour, or one of the major shoe corporations. I stumbled across this vlog / interview the other day from this guy named D. Murphy. D. Murphy is the co-founder of the 5-4 Club, Menlo House, and a few other different fashion brands. Basically, 5-4 Club and all that stuff is like a subscription service. You pay $60 a month. They send you some new clothes depending on your style every month. It's kind of a cool service. I actually thought about signing up a while ago, but I don't spend $60 a month in clothes, so I don't know. But he has this YouTube channel that he started where he kind of does these conversations with people about background information that you may need in order to get in and start your own brand or your own fashion company or clothing line and things like that. And he did a vlog / interview with the folks from Leverage Showroom. Leverage Showroom is partnered with the Big Baller brand with the ZO2 collection. So they kind of talked about the ins and outs in that, and there was some great information on that. I'm going to show a couple clips, but I would suggest y'all go watch this whole video.
I mean, I'm going to break it down to you. Let's just say this. If Zoe would have signed as the number 2 pick in the draft, right? The max he would have gotten for Nike would have been like, what, $2 to $4 million?
And he would have been the biggest by far, right?
Yeah,
Deal?
Ben Simmons got $5 million.
Okay.
Because you're the first pick overall in the draft. The first pick normally gets the highest shoe deal,
And
right? But he made more than that already with Big Baller brand.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, he was smarter because not only did he generate that money, he's also generating all the other business that he's getting from everything else he wants to do. He doesn't have to. Just
No restrictions.
No restrictions.
What they're talking about in this video is dope and important because if you remember back in the summer, before Summer League, your boy Lonzo took off and got the MVP and did all that stuff, a lot of folks were questioning LeVar, Lonzo, the Big Baller brand's decision to turn down these endorsement deals that they had an opportunity to take from one of the major shoe corporations. It was reported through ESPN that Lonzo was pretty much turning down a 5-year deal worth $15 million, which is about $3 million a year, which falls in line with the numbers that he quoted between Lonzo being able to make $2 and $4 million. Now, even with that, a lot of people questioned it because once the shoes launched, it was estimated that he was probably going to sell around 10,000 shoes in a year, and people were taking that number and making it his only source of income, comparing that number of shoes sold to the money he could have made with Nike, which, as they're talking about, doesn't make sense because not only is it the shoes, you gotta look at all the other things that Big Baller brand is doing that Lonzo wouldn't have been able to be a part of if he would have signed that deal, which is basically the ZO2 collection, all apparel and merchandising, because it's sports stuff. So he doesn't have the same limitations as other endorsed athletes. As I looked into this further, a lot of the outrage that people had, or a lot of the questions that they had when this whole decision was made to go with the Big Baller brand and release the ZO2, the original one, is because this graph came out from this website, FormSwift, which basically said that in 1 year, it's estimated that Lonzo is going to make $445,000 from the ZO2s. They compared that amount of money to what other NBA superstars are making from their endorsement contracts and what other rookies are making, and they did this crazy thing where they showed how many days it would take them to make what Lonzo was going to make in a whole year. What was crazy is that all of the numbers and everything that they did for that was kind of silly because they totally forgot about the apparel side of the Big Baller brand. They didn't put that number in there. And then when you look at the fact that most of the rookies that they showed on this list don't have shoes. So if you look at how much money Lonzo is making from selling shoes compared to how much money, let's say, a Ben Simmons or a De'Aaron Fox is making from selling shoes, it's zero to whatever Lonzo makes. So if he only sells one pair of shoes, he sold more shoes than De'Aaron Fox and Ben Simmons combined because they don't have a signature shoe. So there's value in the fact that Lonzo is the only rookie right now with his own signature shoe. But when you look a little bit deeper into their calculations and their estimates and their methodology on how they came up with this, it all doesn't make sense either. They're using Nike's metrics in order to get their numbers. They found this research article from Nike in the University of Oregon that says that on a $100 shoe, Nike makes 9% of profit. So if you go to a store and buy a Nike shoe for $100, Nike is only making $4.50 off that shoe. How they got this $445,000 number is they took 9% of $495, times that by 10,000, and came up with 445,000. But what they don't realize is that they're using Nike's metrics. Nike's numbers is going to be different than the Big Baller Brand's numbers for multiple reasons. If you look at this, you see that Nike wholesales their shoes. Big Baller Brand is direct to consumer. Nike loses $50 on a $100 shoe just off wholesale. If you simply look at the fact that Big Baller Brand isn't wholesaling their direct to consumer, that's a 50% of the profits right there that is going into the Big Baller Brand's profit, all right? So now you got 9% plus the 50%, that's 59% profit that the Big Baller Brand potentially could have. If you look a little bit deeper, you see that what the biggest, it costs Nike $28 to make a $100 shoe, allegedly, based on these numbers. 30% of the revenue made on a $100 shoe goes to SGA, which is selling, general, and administrative expenses, right? A company like Nike, who's got a CEO, a vice president, and all of these people are making millions and millions of dollars, that's where your administrative costs go into, right? Now, also, when you look at the fact that Nike spends more money on advertising and being able to market and sell the shoe than, let's say, a company like Under Armour makes in revenue a year. The difference between Big Baller Brand, if you follow me on the other channel, is they don't really have that many advertising costs because of the free publicity and promotion that is generated by LeVar talking that talk and getting on TV and these shows and talking about the Big Baller Brand. So you see from there that the numbers that they're talking about on what's reality just don't add up, right? In this video, they talk about a lot of things that I feel like you may find value in. One of the things of this video that spoke to me directly and I felt like was super important was this part.
One of my buddies, I posted that shoe when that shoe came out.
Yeah.
And I just posted it on social media, and I was like, $495. I was like, yo, BBB, hit me up if you need help with getting these prices down, right? And it was funny. So one of my buddy knows him, was like, hey, are you serious about this? I can connect you guys on an email with one of their business partners. And he connected me, and that's it. They came over, we spoke, and my vision for BBB was I wanted to make them the new And1.
Yeah.
Because back when I was in high school, that was it. They disrupted the whole apparel industry back then. They were the first brand that had its own touring team, had a different looking
I used to stand in line for the videos, the VHS tapes.
Not only that, do you remember that's like the first pair of basketball shoes that you bought that wasn't Nike and Reebok back then? Those Stephon Marburys.
Yeah.
And just that whole look. They changed the culture of streetwear basketball during that time.
So right there he describes how he was able to create the relationship with BBB in order for them to be partners, right? To me, that spoke to me because doing this YouTube thing for years, when I was doing animation, doing this stuff, like the idea of collaborating with folks comes up a lot, right? And I think that this is dope because one of my like weaknesses is like, even when I was doing animation, I'd be like, yo, I want to find folks with beats and all these things I want to collaborate with. And like, there's only a few times that I actually had the ideal that I wanted to catch folks to collaborate with. A lot of times I think that we start to reach out to folks and we don't really have the plan. So with this dude here, he's like, yo, BBB, if you want to get the price down, holler at me. And then when somebody reached out, they made the connection, he had an idea, he had a plan, they had a system. So it wasn't like, yo, BBB, what do you need? I can do whatever you want. He came with his own values, his own ideas. They were able to hand him some stuff and put it in motion. So to me, that's deep because that's some stuff that I feel like we all feel like we know. But then even with this internet stuff, man, we reach out to people all the time, right? And we say, yo, man, look, I like your stuff. How can I help? When this dude is like, yo, I like your stuff. Let me tell you how I can help. And then he kind of put things in motion that way. So I thought that was dope, man. Like I said, go watch this full video, man. When you get over there, drop a comment. Go ahead and let your boy D know that I sent you through there, you know what I'm saying? And we got more content coming, man. It's your main man, AB the Hero. I'm out. Peace.